it's going to be nearly impossible to chase both rabbits.
Yes.
Your brain doesn't think systematically. Mm-hmm. Your brain doesn't think in systems when it comes to business. Your brain thinks, and I'm going to work. I got this idea and I'm gonna grind, I'm gonna go get this money. And in your head, even as you're telling me, you see yourself doing what you gotta do because you got 20 years in promotion. Your brain thinks in work, and that is not how you make $1 million. I think you can make $1 million with just hard work, but your work is spread so thin amongst a bunch of different things, it's gonna be impossible to scale something. You suck, your business sucks, and you'll never be successful. How many people paid you $5,000? You ever lied to anybody? Okay, real quick. Anything you see in here? It's over, bro. What's your belief system? You're married, yes, to a woman, or you let your wife wear pants? When I ask you for something and you don't give it to me, are you knowing that you're lying to me?
Lying?
You cannot move being this comfortable. But you be in the crib and your drawers just like, hey, yo. My job is to make you fail. My job is to make you quit. My job is to make you cry. But if you survive it, success is on the other side. All right, hot seat's here. What's your name, man?
King K.
King K.
Or King Fresh, if they know me in the streets.
Say that?
King Fresh, as
King
they know
Fresh.
me in the streets, yeah.
Why they call you King Fresh?
Because I'm fresh. I'm king of the freshness when it comes to fashion, when it comes to fresh ideas.
Did they call, when you say they call you, you came up with that name or somebody else called you that?
Nah, somebody else called me that.
Oh, okay, cool. Because sometimes make your own nickname, it's like, it gives less validity.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But you're a Shans.
I am a Shans, yes.
Yeah, we got to be related.
Nah, I believe it in my heart of hearts. It's just taking the time to figure out the connection. I actually asked my dad, and we have some mutual cousins on Facebook and stuff, so you really just take the time to figure out where they are. But my family is from Philly. I know you have
family
for
sure,
so
bro.
Like have to be.
Absolutely, we got to go up the tree, man.
Yeah, figure it out. But yeah, I'm more than if I had to bet on it, we have to be cousins. Shans is not a common name.
Nah, especially not in the same area.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
so it's
absolutely.
just like it has to be.
All right, listen, man. Since you're my cousin, man, we're gonna take it easy. You've seen the hot seat before, right?
Yeah, I have.
So when you see the hot seat, right? What do you think about it?
I mean, I think it's a great platform. I understand what's the purpose, and a lot of entrepreneurs kind of need to hear, you know, the hard stuff, you know, stuff that people around them not going to tell them. And having somebody from the outside looking in is always good to get different perspectives. So, you know, primary thing is just, you know, as an entrepreneur, the person in the hot seat, you just have to be able to figure out the takeaways and not take things personal, you know. But I think it's a great platform, and some of the people are kind of eye-awakening for them on certain things they need to focus on or change to, you know, grow their business. For
sure. Hey, what's cool is, man, since you're my cousin, I'm going to take it easy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? All right, so what's your business?
So I own a brand. The name of the brand is Crown Me. I believe we're all kings and queens. We just need to claim our crown. We're all great at something.
Is that trademarked?
I just got a trademark literally 2 days ago. Shout out Kendra Stevens. We have the same
Kendra, okay, cool.
Same trademark attorney. So yeah, she just literally delivered my email and certificate on Tuesday.
Got it.
So
congratulations.
Thank you, I appreciate it. So yes, I am trademarked.
Gotcha. Okay, King Me.
Crown Me.
Crown Me.
Say that all the time. Yeah, crown.
Oh, because you're king and then crown. Okay.
Yeah.
So
and I didn't want it to be King Me because that excludes women. Our queens need their crowns too.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And how long you been building the brand?
6 years. It'll be 6 years next month. December 6th will be our 6-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Are you making money?
Yes, I am.
Like how much?
So I kind of give you a little backstory. When I started, I was just doing it out the trunk to friends. Actually, I was just doing it for myself. And then I come from party promotion. So I've been doing party promotion, event planning for 20 years. So wearing my clothing at my events, people inquire like, what's that? I want that.
But real quick, different question about how much does the brand bring in revenue?
So last year we did 129,000. The year before that I did 120,000. This year I'm probably going to be around 100, maybe a little under 110, depending on how the holiday season goes.
And you have a store in the mall?
Yes.
You're drowning?
Potentially.
No, you're drowning. I know the numbers. I worked in the mall for 6 years. So how much is your rent?
My rent right now is $3,000.
3,000. Oh.
Yeah. So my monthly expenses are about $3,500 a month for the store.
So the store is $3,500, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how much is that hoodie?
One of these will run you $100.
$100. How much does it cost you to make that?
Maybe about 15.
About 15. Okay, so, but not all products are that much margin, though, right?
No.
So,
This is a custom like 1-to-1. So I do my own embroidery and I hand paint stuff as well. So it's more of an approach with merging
hand
art.
painted?
Yes, it's hand painted.
Okay.
And so it's merging art and fashion with a meaning behind it. So if I'm going to hand paint something, do a custom piece for you, then I'm gonna charge you more. My regular hoodies are about $65.
How much do those cost?
The same, about $15.
So it costs you about 15. You
This
make
just costs me a
65.
little bit more labor.
So what do people buy the most of? Is it t-shirts,
Hats.
sweatshirt, hats?
Yeah.
So what percentage of your sales are hats, you think?
Probably 60%.
60% are hats.
Mm-hmm.
So you made most of that $100,000
Off
from
of
hats. How much do the hats cost?
So I do everything myself. So the hats,
Oh, gosh.
the hats right now, I could pay anywhere between $3 to $5 per hat. If it's a nice hat, maybe like $7. And then my average hat price is $40.
Hats are 40. The blank is 3 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
How much to get it embroidered?
I do it myself. I have my own machine, so I embroider it myself. So I'm just paying for the thread and my actual time.
But your time is so, for you to make a hat, how long does it take to get the embroidery on the hat?
About 10 minutes.
10 minutes. So in an hour, you can do 6 hats, but 6 times 4, that's $240. I think the challenge is you can really only make $240 per hour.
True, if we're basing it off of just what I can produce, but
Yeah.
I have a back inventory. Like my store is full, so I have inventory.
But I'm
So-
saying the time you put in to make these 6 hats is $240, not including the time it takes for you to open the store,
Right.
update
For
the
sure.
website, ship
it is
out,
for
all that
sure
kind of stuff.
time consuming. My solution to that is I actually in the process of getting manufacturing done. So I just literally last night I go through Alibaba. I have manufacturers sending me samples. So I have samples on the way, and they so far from the pictures and the videos they look amazing. So I'll actually get those in the next week or so. So I have a model to scale. Me doing stuff myself, I really want to utilize that in the future to do custom, more one-on-one pieces. You bring me a pair of shoes, or you like, I want an outfit to go with this or that. I can actually produce that for you in a day or two and charge a markup. But the goal is to
Let me just share, because I'm still on these numbers.
Okay, bet.
Because if you make $100,000 in a year and your monthly cost is $3,500, that means you're only bringing in, like, profit-wise, $5,000. Not even, I'm talking about profit excluding the brick and mortar. But out of that $5,000, I can only imagine what your inventory cost is. So your inventory cost is going to be a high percentage of that. Let's say for you to make $8,000, it costs you $2,000. Well, let's say for the $8,300 that you sell in products to make $100,000, let's say it costs you $2,300 to make it. It's still good margins.
Right.
But if you take away from the $8,500 that you're making a month, the $35 in rent, you're left with $5,000. If to make that $8,500, it costs you $2,500 in product, that means you're left with $3,000 a month or $2,500 a month. Do you work the store by yourself?
No.
So out of the $2,500 that you actually get to take home, you got to take that and pay somebody to be there, unless it's just some girl that love you and they just sit there.
It's my mom. My mom is retired, and so she works in the mornings, and then I work in the afternoons and the weekends, and I pay her about $1,000 a month.
So you're walking home with $1,500 a month. You're drowning.
I can agree on that. So that's where and the space and place I'm in now is to scale.
So what do you think scale means?
Scaling for me is growing an online presence, getting online sales to online reduces overhead. I still have the overhead of the store, but as far as the actual sale and stuff, that's straight to consumer. And then I'm getting in the process, that's why I'm getting my samples made so I can start reaching out to major retail stores. So I'm in the mall, so I know the manager at Snipes, I know the manager at DTLR. They're kind of putting me in the loop with buyers of those chains.
And how long you been in the mall?
A year and a half.
A year and a half. I thought you've been in the mall longer than that.
Nope, year and a half. Well, in this physical mall. Now, I've been in malls for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got in Cumberland when I was coming out of the pandemic. So that's when I originally got in the mall, but I moved from Cumberland to Stonecrest.
Cool. In the mall for 2 years, and nobody's biting on retail?
What do you mean by that?
Nobody's put it in their stores? Like DTLR?
I haven't approached anybody.
Why?
Because I needed to figure out this piece of the puzzle as far as manufacturing. I wouldn't approach a DTLR making them myself.
But you've been building this brand for 6 years?
Yes.
And you still haven't figured out manufacturing over 6 years?
Well, I got to figure it out now. Like if I DTLR approached me tomorrow and said they want 1,000 hats, I can get it to them in 30 days.
Okay. But it doesn't seem like you have it figured out because you're still embroidering your own hats.
True. I recognize that.
So scale means we put system in place for our business so that we have to work less and we leverage the system.
Correct.
How can I work less and make more? The problem with scaling is in the front, you have to make less because you have to spend time away from making the sales to build out a system where you can scale on top of that. Right. Scale equals system.
I agree.
It doesn't seem like you have a system because you work and your mom work and you're still making hats and you're still painting shirts, but it's so much stress and pressure because you're only making $1,500 a month. It's stressful.
It is. It can
What are you doing on the side? You selling weed or?
Nah, I actually.
You gotta do something on the side.
So this is not my only income stream. I actually have a event space. Like I told you before, I come from promotion, so I've been doing event planning, promotion, and stuff for years. So
Where's
I
your
actually,
event space?
It's in East Atlanta. It's called the East Atlanta Treehouse. So.
And you're in Stonecrest.
My mom, yeah.
Okay, store is in Stonecrest, far east side. Your event space.
East Atlanta Village.
East Atlanta Village, okay.
About 15 minutes between the two, down 20.
No way, it's not 15 minutes, is it?
I drive it daily.
Okay. And are you making money there?
Yes.
So last time I said, are you making money from your brand? You said yes, but we found out that wasn't true.
I am making money. I'm not making a lot of money.
Yeah, let's describe what making money is.
Okay. Making money is being able to pay all my bills, staff, and have money left over. That's making money. Now, how much money I'm making, I need to scale that up.
It's not making money. That's surviving.
Okay, I'm surviving. I acknowledge that.
Good.
Surviving.
So it sounds so cool to be like, I'm a 6-figure entrepreneur.
But it's
not that cool.
It's not that cool, no. and I come to realize this whole process for me has been a learning experience. I don't have a background in business as far as going to school. I've learned everything on my own, getting it out of the streets. Same thing with fashion. I worked in one retail store, actually the DTLR in Stonecrest. I worked there one holiday season. I used to be a mechanic. Gotcha. And so I worked there one holiday season, and that was it. That was my retail experience.
You be fixing your own car, don't you?
Not no more.
When something go wrong?
Not no more. I hate it.
You don't got the money to pay them.
I do.
How was you making from your event space?
So that business brings me in about 100 grand a year. So I'm on the threshold to make 200K this year.
How long have you had that
event space? So technically I've been in that event space for 10 years, but I started out as a patron to promoter to promotional manager to GM, and then I bought the current owner out to take over the business. So it being
When was that?
That was coming out of the pandemic. So 2021, 2022.
So the event space makes more than the brand?
So they actually kind of fluctuate. So right now, retail, when you get after back to school, retail goes down into the holiday season. So we're about to hit peak season now. The event space, initially I wasn't using platforms to promote it. I just had promoter friends and stuff that would book it out. Now I actually have the place listed on about 5 platforms. So I'm making more passive money through the platform. So I'm making more money now. I'm making more money now than I've ever made in my... Yeah, it's more passive because I don't have to be there. I'm not me promoting a party where I have to promote the party, be at the party, host the party.
I see.
I don't have to do all that
You
now.
rent it out to other people to do their event, but you still got to go in there and set it up.
Well, actually, I have people that do that for me too as well. Cause I don't have to physically be there. Yeah. Now I do. I enjoy being there, overseeing, but I don't have to. Like if I wanted to go out of town or out of the country, the place would still run and we would make money. So that's why I say it's passive. But I am very much hands-on still.
I know.
Yeah.
You're one of those entrepreneurs.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to be like in it, like working it. And I'm not mad at that if you are focusing your efforts and your attention into something that you spend enough time figuring out how to get this thing to work.
Yeah.
And I don't think you spent enough time to figure out how to get this thing to work. What's your goal for the brand?
Crown Me.
Yeah.
Crown Me. I want to be bigger than Ralph Lauren. That's my goal.
How you gonna do that?
By scaling. I'm starting out with this first store. This is giving me a lot of learning experience. I do want to, focus on online first before I get another location. But I believe.
Here's what I bet. Ralph Lauren didn't have an event space while he was building that brand.
I'm pretty sure he didn't either.
You can't chase after Ralph Lauren because it just I don't know the guy, but for what he's built so marvelously, I know he didn't have an event space.
Probably
I know he wasn't.
off, but he for sure diversified. And,
how you know?
I've researched him. He has a lot of real estate. He has a lot of brick and mortar stores. He at one point was in every prominent mall, either through Macy's or JCPenney's, a chain store, or having his own physical store.
Yes, and this is the challenge with a lot of entrepreneurs, because we're comparing success to where we are, and it's two totally different ball games. I'm telling somebody, yo, you really need to focus on this one thing, and they say, well, Diddy, he's in the music, and he's in Ciroc, and he got clothes. Right. I'm like, what are you talking? We have to go back to what they did in the very beginning if we want to get to where they are.
And I've kind of done that. So when Ralph Lauren started out, he was just doing neckties.
Yes.
So he started out with neckties in a department store, and then he scaled up from there. So I have a similar. I started out with hats, and now I'm in my scaling process. So
you have not scaled up. You have more.
No, I haven't. I said I'm in the process. I
know
you're not.
You're not even in the process of scaling.
You don't believe so?
Scale is a system.
Okay.
You know somebody that can make some hats. This is what's gonna happen. DTLR says, I need 1,000 hats. You're gonna email your contact and say, hey, I need 1,000 hats. Then you're gonna go through the style of the hat and the color and the design. You're gonna send them all of the artwork. They're gonna send back a sample. You're gonna check out the sample. You're gonna call those people back and say, we need to tweak this. They'll come back, have the thing perfect. They'll send you a bunch of boxes, and then you're gonna deliver them to DTLR, and they're gonna send you a PO. Meaning, like, they're gonna send you over, okay, this is the thing that I need to do, and then we're gonna invoice you, and actually we're gonna pay you your money in like 60 to 90 days. And then you're gonna send an invoice, and you're gonna wait for the money. That is not scaling. That's you working really, really hard to make some money.
Understood.
It's not scaling a business.
Understood.
So how do we scale the business? This isn't Ralph Lauren.
Right.
This is a person who has a product, and I'm a hustler. I'm gonna go make some money. But I can't really spend time on all that stuff because I gotta make sure that the bill is paid for the event space, and I'm connecting and meeting with the people to do walkthroughs for their events. You're not scaling. You're hustling.
That is true.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. The only problem is if you desire to be Ralph Lauren, because that's never going to happen.
I respect that.
Not like this.
I respect that.
Because if I came up with an opportunity for you to make some money, if I was like, yo, you know what, bro? We both got a last name Shands, bro. We need to come out with a magazine called The Shands. All cool stuff. Fashion, entrepreneurship, business. Let's go. Let's do it. You'll do it with me. And now your time is taken away with this opportunity from your clothing brand and from your event space. And in your mind, though, you say, oh, it all works together. In the magazine, I'll just wear all my clothes. And then when we do an event, we'll do it at my space. And it all makes sense. And business doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
You need to close something.
So I actually used to be worse than this. I was a serial entrepreneur. I had several businesses. So now this is actually me scaling down to just two. And I'm in the process of getting my liquor license for my venue so that we can actually be open outside of just being a private event space. And then, like I was saying, I'm working with manufacturers to be able to have somebody else make the hats so that I don't have to physically make the hats. And then my next goal is to, like I said, start reaching out to retail chains and then also influencers to push the brand online.
How much money do you want to make per year?
Each business at least $1 million.
No, how much money do you want to make per year?
I'm talking about $1 million after paying everything.
Okay, what's the plan to do that?
That is the plan. The plan is
no, that's not a plan. That's a goal.
Okay, that's a goal.
I said, what's the plan to do that?
The plan. Well, okay. So I would say the plan is I'm working on.
You haven't really thought about it.
Funding.
You haven't thought about it. Just be honest with me. I have not The $1 million sounds cool because I want to make $1 million, but I have not sat down and put together a plan to make this $1 million.
I agree.
Wonderful. Now, let's put a plan together.
Okay.
How are we going to make this $1 million? 2024.
2024.
Well, is the goal to make it in 2024?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
Did you just come up with that just now?
No.
You knew this. The next year, your goal is to make $1 million.
Yes.
When did you know that?
6 months ago.
6 months ago. But we haven't really done anything. We just almost want to just like, what's it called? Manifest? Can you manifest $1 million? Does it work that way? No?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, work. Yeah, you can manifest it for sure. But it has to be work for sure.
Yeah, yes.
Action.
But more than the action, targeted action towards this goal. So let's put this plan together. How do you plan to make this $1 million? You're saying after expenses.
Yeah.
You get to keep $1 million.
I want to keep $1 million.
You can do that next year?
I believe so.
Do you believe that?
Yes, I do.
Did you believe you were going to do it this year?
No.
You didn't believe it?
I didn't believe it.
Did you think about it?
I thought about it.
But you're like, I'm not going to do it this year.
Yeah, no. Because I knew it was work that I needed to do to be in position to do that. And
but now you're ready to do the work.
Yes, for sure.
Okay. Walk me through how you get to keep $1 million next year.
So let's just do the math on it.
Let's do the math.
Let's do the math.
This is a good first step, ladies and gentlemen of the audience. We start doing the math.
I'll say so.
So you are going to have to bring home $83,333.33 every single month. Right. But that's what you have to pay yourself. Mm-hmm. I make more than that in my businesses, but I pay myself $10,000 a month. And I have to live off $10,000 a month. And sometimes I ain't got it.
Yeah.
Sometimes my friends are like, hey, let's go out of town real quick. And then I look at my account and I'm like, dang, I can't go.
Yeah.
I ain't got the money.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that you say next year you plan on making $83,000 every single month, which means if we're looking at the percentages of your business, let's just say it's in the mall, you'd have to be making like $300,000 a month in the mall.
It couldn't just be in the mall. I don't think that's feasible.
Okay, well, $300,000 a month at the event space. Let's max out the clothing brand in the mall, whatever your online sales are, and your event space, so that you can walk home with $83,000. That's profit. There's a lot of conversation around this. Okay. But how do we get to this $300,000 a month? You can't in those models right there.
So for sure, in my mind, as far as a plan, scaling with the brand is for sure attacking online, doing things that I haven't done in the past, linking with influencers, doing collabs, and also reaching out, like I said, to these major chains.
I'm sorry, real quick. Are we gonna do the whole $1 million from the clothing brand?
No, it could be split between the two. So 500,000 from each business.
And you think the event space is gonna make you $500,000 next year?
Yes.
How?
So once I get my liquor license,
yes,
and I'm able to be open every day and sell liquor, to make $1 million in that business, you would need to make $3,000 a day. On a private event, I can make $1,500 to $2,000. That's just on a private event at night.
For the day.
Just at night. So if I'm open in the daytime and have daytime business where I would have to make at least $1,500 doing that, and then $1,500, that's $3,000 a day. So that would equal to $1 million in that particular business. So with me having my liquor license and things of that nature, then I can actually scale.
You have a bartender, right?
Yes.
You know that bartender is going to steal from you, right?
Bartenders do potentially steal.
All of them.
Yes. And you have to just have systems in place to, cap that. You always factor in 20%. You're going to lose 20% somewhere.
You're going to lose more because you don't understand systems yet.
I respect that. Now, I do have I have a cousin who has 30 years experience managing and running bars, from restaurants and stuff from the airport to private spaces.
Is he going to own part of the space, or you're just going to pay him?
I'm going to pay him.
With what?
From the revenue that's brought in from the liquor sales.
But before the liquor sales come, that person needs to come in and create the systems.
Well, he's currently helping me for free. You know, that's my cousin, and it's for sure a family situation. So he's helping me for free, knowing that once this is up and running, you know, he'll come in and make money.
He possibly might steal from you too.
I respect that. I don't think he would, but I respect. I don't put anything past anybody.
Yeah, you never think the people that steal from you steal from you.
Sure.
I know there's somebody stealing from you right now. I just don't know who it is.
Yeah.
Someone's stealing something from me.
Yeah.
So you need to put systems in place. We got 2 more months in this. Well, about a month and a half left in this year, and we got to start making this $83 or no. If it's $500,000, we got to start making this $40,000 every single month. We're not going to do it in January. We have the liquor license by January?
God willing.
And you think the first month you'll make $40,000?
Yeah.
How much money are you making now every day? Or is it just events? Where do people most do the events? Like Saturdays?
Yeah. So like I said, I'm on booking platforms, so I can get bookings anywhere between Wednesday and Saturday. I do an event on Tuesdays, so we're currently doing Tuesdays. I get bookings, you know, sometime on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Fridays and Saturdays and
standing
Sundays.
event every single Tuesday.
Yes.
You do. How much money you bring in from that?
About $3,000. It's not. That's more of a passion event, and that's also.
Do you bring in $3,000 every Tuesday?
So when we say $3,000, not me taking home, the event produces about $3,000.
Yep.
Now, out of that, how much I actually take home? Maybe a couple $100.
Okay.
You know, to be honest, but it is cash flow for the business.
Yep.
And then it gives me a little pocket change as far as myself personally, but I get to pay my staff and the overhead for the event, and I can do it every week and not take a loss.
Gotcha. Okay. And how often are you doing events though?
That's my cousin calling me now.
Tuesday, you be stealing. I know you, cuz. I know you gonna find a way. Especially if you ain't paying him, you gotta get his money somewhere.
Now he's gonna get his money. I'm gonna take care of him for sure. But
how many events do you do a week?
So we have
outside of the Tuesday.
So we have we only have 2 what we would call in-house regular program events, Tuesday and Sunday.
Okay.
And then the other days are booked out. So we book out, you know, in advance. I have people booking out into January. People booked because, you know, people
every day it's booked? You're
not every day.
Okay, cool.
No, not every day.
Yeah, because you said you have those 2, and then you said the rest of them are booked out, and I know that's not true. I have an event space.
Yeah, not
and
every day.
This place is beautiful.
Right, it is.
And I understand how challenging it is people do like Friday, Saturday, every now and again we'll have an event on the week, and it took a little while to even get there.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand how we go from probably, I'm imagining you make maybe a few $100s a week now, the event space, or $1,000 a week maybe, and I don't know what your rent is, so that takes a chunk. I just don't know how we go from that to making $3,000 a day because we have a liquor license.
Being open every day. So East Atlanta has a lot of foot traffic. There are people in that area consuming every day. It's a bar across the street from me. Now, of course, they've been there for a long time, but they make about $3 million a year. And primarily just being open every day, and they actually have an event space in the back of their venue, so they rent that out for touring bands and stuff of that nature. But just being open every day.
So your answer to how you're going to make $500,000 a year is being open every day? That's the answer?
Yes, that is the answer. Because you can't make money if you miss every shot you don't take. So if I am actually open, I have events and stuff going on. Like I have 20 years of experience in promotion. So I have a phone full of promoters and people looking for opportunities and spaces to do events and stuff of that nature. So just at night alone, I know I can be booked with stable events at least 5 days out of the week. And once again, going back to the numbers, on the low end, like if you're talking about nightlife, making $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, that's not a lot of money. That's not a high goal. Some of these clubs are doing $60,000 a night. Now, of course, they do more bottle service and stuff of that nature, but I know that I can make at least $3,000 as a minimum in a day between being open, even if we're just doing a happy hour and then having an event at night. I know for sure I can make $3,000. I've done it, but I haven't done it consistently, and I haven't done it with a liquor license. So yes, I believe for sure I can make this kind of money.
I think you can too. Will you? I don't know.
Okay.
In your mind, if I open, the people will come. And it doesn't work that way.
It's more than just
and
opening.
Every day that you're opening, you're starting with a loss.
Well,
somebody's got to be there. You got to staff it.
So the nightlife business is a little bit different. Bartenders and stuff of that nature, they work off tips. So my overhead is the same. So look at it this way.
But
my
if you
overhead.
don't bring the people in every single night, they leave.
What do you mean?
Your staff. They'll work off tips. Cool. For one, I think you still got to pay them something per hour, whether it's $2.13 or whatever.
Yeah.
You got to pay them something. But if it's not a consistent hit every single night, you're going to call them and say, hey, we open tonight, we got an event, can you come? They'll say no, because they're going to their real job. So it's your job to bring awareness to this space. People have to like the food, they got to like the vibe, they got to like you have to bring in your cousin to like create the systems and all that kind of stuff.
Correct.
Which takes a little while. I just don't understand how we go from can you grab that for me? Thank you. I don't see how we go from what we're doing right now to 40 grand every single month without the systems. It takes energy and promotion to get people there. But you're at the mall.
In the daytime.
In the daytime. But to make it pop at night, you got to do the work in the daytime. It's not like we open at night and then it just be lit.
No,
I just go to work at night and it works.
So to the point of, I guess, what you're trying to say, the goal is a goal. The systems I do have to work on to put into place 100%. To be able to execute these goals. Do I think they're obtainable? Yes. Is it going to take work and planning and time? Yes, for sure. Yes. It's going to take more staff. So that's where the scaling comes in, even when it comes to staffing. So I'm working on finances, being able to have more cash flow to be able to organize these things so that I don't have to be there every day. For sure. So I'm working on my personal credit. I'm at about a 723 right now, and my pay index score is about a 7. So I have to get a couple of things off my credit so that I can get approved for these different credit cards and loans and stuff of that nature to be able to structure the business, to hire these people and put these systems in place.
Got it.
That is the challenge.
Let's put a pin in that event space, the 500,000.
Cool.
The clothing brand, how are we going to go from just barely making it to $500,000 profit in the clothing brand?
So I believe, once again, get into retail chains, spending time focusing online, creating content, which I'm doing now, creating content.
And when do you do that?
Primarily on Mondays and Tuesdays. Or my
before
content.
Work or after work?
No, at the store.
At the store?
Yeah, at the store. So when I'm at the store, I'm very productive even if it's not busy. So I create content on Mondays and Tuesdays. Those are my slowest days. So I actually record myself making things. I do Q&As online. I actually do. I have
that stuff is on your page?
Yes.
Okay. Let me just see real quick. What's your Instagram?
Yeah. So the business is Crown Me with the K, Crown Me LLC with the K, and then my personal.
Oh my gosh! I knew you was gonna say personal page. I knew it. I just knew it. I hate it. What do you post on your personal page?
It's more personal stuff, but a lot of it's associated around the brand, to be honest.
Is the same stuff on both pages?
No.
Okay. Let me go. Crown Me, KROWN.
KROWN.
LLC.
LLC.
Got it. Okay. All right, because you're putting in that work in here. All right. This one, the last thing you posted 11 hours ago, 3 likes. Not mad at that. Okay. The one before that, you got 61 likes. What an improvement. The one after that, we got 13 likes and no comments, no engagement. How do we go from this to where you want to be?
Consistency, and then actually I need to start running ads. So I'm taking time to learn about running ads online, creating a budget for that, and playing with it. That's the only way you could really.
I love the brand, man, but it just doesn't seem like other people do. Especially you've been doing it for 6 years.
I would beg to differ. Only because I've sold a lot of units, and I have random people that come into my store every day and tell me how much they love the brand, and they will buy.
No, I'm not saying no one. Again, I like it.
Yeah,
I really, really like the brand.
I think it's more about spreading the word, getting the word out there, doing more PR, doing more interviews, working with influencers, like just getting the brand, more brand visibility. But I get people tagging me every day when people see my stuff in the airport, on your podcast, on Wildin' Out. If other, micro influencers wear it. So the awareness is growing, the brand recognition is there. It's just about continuing to do it, staying consistent with doing it, and, scaling that particular thing to bring more visibility.
Here's my offering of advice for you.
Okay.
It's going to be nearly impossible to chase both rabbits.
Yes.
Impossible. Only because not yet. And I'm not saying, I'm going to say what I'm about to say, but it's not an attack on you because I deal with the same thing. Mm-hmm. Your brain doesn't think systematically. Mm-hmm. Your brain doesn't think in systems when it comes to business. Your brain thinks, and I'm going to work. I got this idea and I'm going to grind. I'm going to go get this money. That's how your brain operates. Mm-hmm. So when we start talking about the venue, you're like, oh, I just got to be open. Then we promote it. We get the things going. We got the liquor license. Man, give people a great experience. And in your head, even as you're telling me, you see yourself doing what you got to do because you got 20 years in promotion. Mm-hmm. So you're going to build that thing. And then we switch gears and go into the clothing. You're like, yo, I'm in the store every day creating content. People love it. And I'm about to go get these contracts and all that kind of stuff. Your brain thinks in work, and that is not how you make $1 million. I think you can make $1 million with just hard work, but your work is spread so thin amongst a bunch of different things, it's going to be impossible to scale something. That's going to be the challenge. People might hate me for this, but I think your goal is too high for next year.
Understood. I respect and receive that. Like, if I don't make $1 million, I wouldn't be mad, but I'm going to strive for it and push to make that. And if I fall a little short, I will still be doing better than I'm doing right now.
Maybe.
It's not a maybe for me. You can say maybe, but for me, it's not a maybe, because I know each year I do better than I've done the year before. And
not based on what you just told me.
Why not?
Because you said this year you're on track to make $100,000. Mm-hmm. You said last year you made 120 something thousand.
Right, but that was just with one company. So I actually not doubled, but about 70% increase on my revenue between my two businesses. I'm about to make $200,000 this year. Last year I only did 130. So between the two businesses, I'm about to make $200,000, and that's not with systems. That's not with the structure that I need.
You're not making $200,000.
Well, generating revenue.
You bring in $200,000.
Generating revenue.
You might realize that because you take so much time and energy, you got to put all the resource and all that kind of stuff into this event space that you actually walk home with less than you made last year.
Yeah, I can see that. For sure.
Me too. And the reason I know it is because I've been through this before.
I can see that. I'm not, and I know for sure that I'm not reaching my full potential. I know there are gaps that I need to fill. I know there are holes I need to fill in order to get to where I'm trying to go. I'm not in denial about that. It's just about, utilizing the resources that I have. I've tried to get mentors. Realistically, I feel like I need a mentor and an investor. And hopefully that could be the same person. But if not, I will thug it out with the resources that I have until that happens. So working on my credit.
I think the only challenge with investors, you're just not investable.
Okay.
What would you want me to invest in?
The clothing brand.
Okay. How much you need?
I would say anywhere between 50 to 100 grand.
I'm not investing in that.
Okay. Why
because
not?
You don't know how much you need. Anywhere between 50 and 100,000, and that number, you just came up with. You're like, it'd be good to have 50 to 100,000.
Now, can I explain why?
Sure.
Okay. So, if depending on the investor, everybody doesn't have that kind of capital. So if someone is less, a little bit more frugal, we'll say 50 grand. I can take 50 grand and put that into a campaign on a particular product and get a return on that money.
Tell me about the campaign.
Let's just say we wanted to do a hat.
Tell me about a campaign that you would do.
On hats. We could do on hats. So I would spend, now mind you, this 50 grand is not 50 grand that I need to operate the business. The business is operate. This is literally to invest into this particular campaign. So if I decided I want to sell black hats, let's say black, David loves the corduroy black hat. So I have a lot of content. I have a video with you, a minute long video with you wearing my hats. I can utilize your likeness and things that you've already done and other people to create a campaign. Hire someone to help me with that campaign as far as running ads. So we take our time running ads. We just don't dump a bunch of money. There are, enough information out there for you to take your time not to lose money on running ads, and just merely run ads on that particular thing. Do photo shoots. Find me an influencer.
Will you run the ads?
Would I run them personally? Yeah. No, I would find somebody that's an expert in that to run ads.
How do you know they're an expert or not?
They would have to have a track record. I would have to do research.
I've had a whole bunch of people that said they were an expert. They lost me money on ads. And the ads they ran for somebody else, because it was a different business, a whole nother situation, they made that person money, lost me money.
Right. I mean, once again, I can't say this first person that I try is going to get it right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that. But if I continue to go down this path and continue to try and learn from each experience, you only take a loss if you don't learn anything.
Well, no, because me as the investor, I give you $50,000, and then you go lose my $50,000. You learned a lot.
But that's the thing. I'm not going to lose $50,000 because I'm not going to bet the whole $50,000 on this one person.
Okay,
we're going to use a percentage of that. So maybe let's just say we just decided to do $5,000. This particular launch we're going to use $5,000 out of the $50,000.
5,000. What do you mean?
We're going to allocate 50,000 for the first 5,000 for the first campaign. I'm not going to invest the whole 50 grand into this one thing.
Okay. You know what the person that's running the ads is going to tell you? That we're going to need 3 months for the system, the pixel, to learn the audience. So the guy that came up to me, shouts out to my man Dave, he was running my ads last year or 2 years ago. The first thing he said to me, he said, we are going to need 3 months. I'm going to install a pixel on this website. We're going to drive traffic to the pixel, and the pixel is learning.
Yeah.
The type of person that comes here, the buying habits, the behavior of the people that are coming to this website. And then we can refine our search and start targeting the people and people that are like the people that came to this pixel. But he told me up front, we're gonna have to spend some money to make sure we are learning. Now, we might not lose the money that we spend, but we may not make a whole bunch. And he held true to his promise. We didn't lose money. We almost broke even. But that's not a break even point because I still have to pay him thousands a month to do it. So you can't say, all right, we're going to just spend $5,000 on this campaign. We still got to pay the person to do it. But the person might be $3,000 a month.
Well, we should factor that into the cost. You have to actually sit down and write numbers down. Sit down with the person.
But the reason you're willing to go through, okay, this first person doesn't work, it's cool, I get it, because it's not your money. But you think I would give you $50,000 when I know you spent a half your time on an event space? Have you ever seen somebody go into Shark Tank and say, hey guys, I need $1 million to invest in this business, okay? I'm gonna be running this business during the daytime, but at night, I got this other little business that I'm working on. I'm gonna go do that, but I'm gonna come right back, and this thing we do together though is gonna be huge. Do you know when people invest in other people, they don't want them having a job, they don't want them doing nothing else. I need you to go get my money back.
Understood.
But that's why I'm saying you don't seem investable, because
my time is divided.
Your time and your attention is divided. And you're a hustler. You're not thinking and building a business. You're like, how can I go get some money right now?
Understood. I respect that. And that may be why I won't get an investor. But that doesn't mean that on my own I can go get $50,000. Once I get these 2 delinquencies off of my credit, I can get $50,000. I have
the delinquencies scare me as an investor. Why you got delinquencies?
I had it's a medical.
Don't we all?
It's a medical bill.
Yeah. This is my as we come to a close.
Okay.
You're gonna have to get out of that hustler mindset
for sure
and become a business owner.
For sure.
You're not that yet.
I respect that
because we're chasing stuff. I'm just asking you to stop chasing stuff.
I respect.
My wife is over this event space because I understand I gotta stop chasing the best way to make $1 myself. I say, you run this. Why? Because when you wake up in the morning, I want you to have a focus on how do you make this thing grow. And she's been successful at it. When I put her over it, she made this building way more money than I could.
Yeah. I respect
because she has a focus, but I have my own focus, and it takes focus. The last thing, and I'm not killing your dreams, and I think you can manifest it. I just don't think your number one goal should be $1 million because I honestly don't think you'll effectively manage $1 million because that's a lot more money than you're used to coming in. It's like you have a hose that's like coming like gushing out, and how do you manage that if you're used to drinking from a water fountain?
So what do you think? What do you think will be a more reasonable goal?
I don't know. I would say, how can we figure out how to make the same $200,000 I made this next year, but be able to keep more of it?
I respect
because out of that 200,000, you didn't keep 100. Maybe next year the goal isn't focused on gross, but net. Listen, I made $250,000 when I was at South DeKalb Mall. It was 2014. I made $250,000, which is incredible. I mean, I was single at the time.
Yeah.
We at the bar. Somehow I just let it kind of slip out. Oh, we got a business. We do about $250.
Yeah.
It's lit.
Yeah.
Tell all my friends we did about $250,000.
Yeah.
Cool posts, screenshots of the money.
Yeah.
I walked away with $30,000 that year. That's when I realized something was broken.
Yeah. I'm at the same realization. So, I'm not denying that I have a lot to learn. And when you say, what's your goal? You should set your goals high. Now, why not?
I think we should set our goals based on a plan that we feel like we can attack and attain.
Okay. And I would, for sure entertain that. I'm not.
It's like me saying, I'm gonna set a goal for $100 million next year. Do you know by the time 6 months come and I'm not at 50 million, I'll be super discouraged and I'm not gonna do anything. And guess what I'll say? You know what? Maybe this wasn't my year, but next year, 100 million. The goal needs to not even be financial. Like, can we get a solid stream of income or can we net profit? Let's focus on that for next year.
I'm open to that. I mean, in this, I'm not emotionally tied to anything. Good. I just want to be able to continue to be successful and continue to do better than I did the year before. Trying to throw a number out there, of course, we could poke holes in that all day. Yeah. But as long as I'm continuing to grow, continuing to net more money and figure out the system stuff, I'm happy. I could literally wake up and do this every day. Yeah. But I know that there's a better way to do it. That's where, trying to find a mentor, trying to find people to be around that can help me. Like just having this conversation alone, is eye-awakening and, I can adjust my goals, but I still want to reach this particular goal. It may not be next year, but if I do, if I can net 200,000 next year, I will feel great. I will feel accomplished. Like I have a successful business model. So it's just, okay, well, what do I need to do to double that? Yes. And so I'm open to, all of those things. I'm not stuck like, if I don't make $1 million, I'm going to go quit or I'm going to cry. Me just being here is just fantastic, because 10 years ago, this was just an idea. Yeah. I want to open a clothing store with no experience whatsoever. So fast forward, I have a successful clothing brand. I have a store. We are generating money. I'm not taking home a lot of money, but my bills are paid, and I don't have to worry about putting gas in my car or anything like that. My bills are paid. I can get my mom.
What do you do with the cash?
What do you mean?
Like, I would imagine Stonecrest is cash. People pay in cash.
Actually, people pay more with card.
But what do you do with the cash when you get it?
I put it in the bank.
All the time?
Not all the time.
Listen, bro, I've been down this road. That's why I understand. I take that cash.
Not all the time.
Keep a little bit in there for change the next day.
Yeah.
Take that.
Not all the time. But realistically, I really still invest. I don't spend a lot of money on, frivolous things. Like,
here's the thing. You probably don't know how much you spend, but my point is that cash, it has to go into the bank. Yeah. Because that's the only way you can account for how much money you're making.
Yeah, for sure.
And don't spend cash on anything. You need to use your debit card because...
that's wrong too. You should use your credit card because...
I use a credit card. I just don't 100% trust you with a credit card just yet. Okay. That's why I'm just giving that advice. Okay. Because not everybody... Credit cards, you have a balance on your credit cards now?
Yeah, but I pretty much, so my plan, and it's not full-fledged. I am still working on this particular thing. But what I am working on is paying all my credit cards 100% off, and just paying all my necessary bills that I have every month with the credit card, and then using the cash flow to then pay the credit card.
I want to invest. How much you got in credit card bills?
5,000.
5,000. That's why I'm saying you don't need a credit card.
Okay. Now, why? Explain that.
The only time I say people should use a credit card, right? But only if they're responsible enough to never pay interest. Meaning, I use my credit cards, but I pay them off throughout the month.
Yeah, within the 30 days. So
you're not at that level yet.
No, I'm not there yet.
So that's why I'm saying you need to stop using a credit card. The cash that you get from at the end of the day, put it directly in the bank. The only thing you spend on is your debit card, because now you can look at your bank account and see how much came in that month and how much went out that month. It's the only way to track it. It's the only way we find out what the net is.
Yeah, for sure. I respect that.
You're going to do great, man. But lower them goals a little bit. You ever had somebody tell you that? Hey, your goals are too high. Go lower. But only because I just know when we set the goal high, because someone said we got to set high goals, when we're not close to them, we get discouraged. So halfway through the year and you realize you're not even close to $1 million, just like, I'm gonna give up on that. I'm just gonna do something else.
I mean, I feel you, and that would be, maybe the average person, but mentally, I don't think I'm built like that. Like I said, I'm not emotionally tied to these goals. These are just goals and things to work towards. And if I'm, long as I'm making progress, that's the main thing. As long as I'm making progress,
that's the thing though. Until you get your accounting, you don't know if you're making progress.
Oh, true. And that is something that I am currently working on.
The gross is no indication of progress.
For sure.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Like you got to start tracking. And again, your mind doesn't think in data and numbers, because mine doesn't. But through this process, I've learned, and I'm a little better now.
Yeah.
But the gross number is no indication of growth.
Right. No, I say that often. I had to go from being a hustler to a businessman.
Yes.
What you said, and
is this the year you're gonna do it?
Takes. Yes, I believe so, 100%. And I will invest my time into my education, into other resources to help continue to structure my business so that I can have those systems in place to reach those goals.
If I was you, I'd focus on maybe I don't know if I'm just gonna give you maybe a scenario. I would sublease that place and just get a little piece off of it every single month. You focus on that, building that.
So that is actually easier said. I mean, that is very doable. I have a close friend of mine who is a partner in the event space, and then I have my brother who is he's like a legend in the city. Both of them have years of experience in nightlife and club promotion. So I'm kind of structuring things for them to be able to be there and focus on that particular business while I'm growing Crown Me. So it's like building the platform and then getting the right people to come in and fill it in. So between those two people and then my cousin, who I told you has 30 years of experience behind the bar, helping me create those systems.
Man, stealing. I tag on it. Yeah, just get some cameras installed.
I already have them.
Yeah. You're going to do great, man.
Thank you.
Man, thanks for coming, bro.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Cousin, are we officially
cousins?
Cousins?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're officially cousins now?
Absolutely, man. If you like the video that you just watched, click this one. You're going to like this one, maybe even more. Click it right now.